Hey guys, join me as I dare to spend 24 hours locked in room 302 to uncover its secrets. Before I start, did you know that? For years, room 302 has been the site of unexplained horrors. Guests who check in often check out, changed if they check out at all. Paranormal investigators refuse to enter. Locals warn travelers to stay away. But what is it about this room that sends shivers down the spine? Tonight, we uncover the truth behind room 302. Legends whisper of strange occurrences in this room. People vanishing without a trace, eerie figures appearing in mirrors, and unsettling whispers in the dead of night. The hotel management denies the rumors, yet stories keep emerging. What happened in this room? And why do the nightmares never stop? This is the story of Mumbai, a story from July 30th, 2021. Specifically, this story is about Navi Mumbai, where there is a place called a posh locality. In one of the apartments, there lived an engineer named Rajesh Kumar, along with his wife Laxmi and their 15-year-old daughter Gudiya. The three of them lived together as a happy family. Rajesh had a very good job at a big company, and everything was going well. His daughter Gudiya had completed her 12th grade and aspired to become a doctor. She was preparing for her entrance exams. Life was smooth and the family was content, with no worries or hardships. But on July 30th, 2021, at 2:39 p.m., a message was sent to three people: Rajesh Kumar, his brother-in-law, Shailesh, and Shailesh's wife. It was a short WhatsApp message, just 2 lines, sent in the afternoon. The message was, "I tried everything, but now I am leaving." The sender was none other than Laxmi, Rajesh Kumar's wife. As soon as Rajesh read the message, he was shocked and deeply worried. He immediately tried calling his wife, but she didn't answer. He then called Shailesh and told him about the message. Shailesh, equally confused, replied that he had also received the same message and was reading it at that moment. He said he had no idea what was happening. The area where Shailesh lived was close to Rajesh's home. Rajesh then told Shailesh, "Quickly go home and check what's happening. What is your sister doing, and why did she send such a message?" Without wasting time, Shailesh rushed to Rajesh's house. When he arrived, he saw that his niece was sitting outside the room door, crying. The door was locked from the inside. Shailesh quickly approached and knocked on the door, calling out to his sister, but she did not respond. There was no sound from inside. No reply, no movement, nothing. Shailesh tried multiple times to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, he immediately called the police and explained, "My name is Shailesh. I live in this area, and right now, I am standing outside my sister's room. She has locked herself inside, and my niece is outside crying. We have tried multiple times to get her to open the door, but she is not responding. Please come quickly." The police officer who picked up the call immediately informed the local police. The police arrived at the scene, and Shailesh came outside the house, saying that his sister wasn't opening the door. By then, the police had also reached the house. They tried multiple times to open the door, but it was locked from the inside and wouldn't open. The door was the type that could be unlocked from the outside, similar to hotel room doors, where a key can be used to open it even if it's locked from the inside. However, the key was inside the room, and the police couldn't figure out how to open the door. Crime was crucial, and during their investigation, they discovered that a message had been sent some time ago containing alarming details. Since the situation seemed critical, the police and the family members along with the neighbors who had gathered, decided to break the door. The police hurriedly broke it down. As soon as they entered, they were shocked and deeply disturbed by what they saw. Laxmi's lifeless body was lying inside. Seeing his sister in that state, Shailesh broke down in tears. Gudiya also started crying upon seeing her mother. By that time, Rajesh Kumar had also arrived home, though it took him some time since his office was far away. When Rajesh saw everything, he was devastated and started crying uncontrollably. The police then conducted their investigation, questioned everyone, and finally took possession of the body for further examination. They sent Laxmi's body to the hospital for a post-mortem. During the investigation, the police found that the husband and wife had a very good relationship. They loved each other deeply and were very happy together. Their financial situation was stable, and they had a daughter who was focused on her studies. When Shailesh was asked about his brother-in-law, he said that Rajesh was a very good person who took great care of his sister. Their home was always filled with happiness, and everyone in the family lived peacefully. Even the neighbors confirmed that the family was loving and kind to each other and maintained good relations with those around them. The police were puzzled. Everyone, including relatives and neighbors, insisted that Rajesh and Laxmi's relationship was good, that Rajesh was financially stable, and that there were no conflicts in their home. If everything was fine, why did Laxmi take such a step? Why did she commit suicide? There was no suicide note found in her room or anywhere in the house, except for the message sent on WhatsApp. Even after 2 days, the post-mortem report had not arrived, and the police continued to consider it a suicide case. They were waiting for the report, planning to close the case once it was reviewed. The family had not filed any complaints or held anyone responsible for Laxmi's death. There was no indication that she had been murdered or that anyone had harmed her. Everything seemed normal. After 2 days, when the report arrived, the police were shocked and disturbed upon reading it. The report stated that Laxmi's death was not a suicide. She had died due to strangulation, making it a murder case. The police were baffled. When they had arrived at the house, they had seen that the room's door was locked from the inside, leaving no apparent way for anyone to enter or leave. They had to break the door themselves to get inside. Given these circumstances, it seemed impossible for anyone to come and go. Initially, when it was considered a suicide, the police had no strong suspicions about anyone, nor were they interrogating anyone thoroughly. But now that it was confirmed to be a murder case, their approach changed. They decided to investigate the case from every possible angle and leave no stone unturned in their inquiry. The police started their investigation, but during the process, they were not receiving any support. They had no leads or clues. The police also checked all the CCTV cameras in the area, but they found nothing useful. They reviewed all CCTV footage from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., looking for anything suspicious, someone running away or arriving with a possible motive. But they found nothing. There was no one to suspect. The police kept wondering. No one had entered or left the house, so who could have committed the murder? They were getting frustrated, using all possible methods to advance their investigation. But there was no trace of the killer. It wasn't even clear whether the suspect was someone from inside the house or an outsider. There was absolutely no one to suspect. The police questioned Rajesh again and interrogated him in every possible way, but they found nothing suspicious. They even questioned others regarding him, but no one believed that he could be responsible for the death. Then the police questioned the neighbors. One of the neighbors stated that nothing unusual had ever happened in their house. There had never been any fights, grudges, or enmity with anyone that could lead someone to want to kill them. There was no evidence or clues to support any such suspicion. The police then questioned Gudiya, and she stated that she didn't know what had happened to her mother. She said, "We had lunch together. I was at home, and my mother was at home too." After dinner, she went into the room and locked herself inside. I called her multiple times, but she did not open the door. Meanwhile, Rajesh and Shayesh informed the police that they had received a message from Laxmi at 2:39 a.m. and shared the contents of the message with the authorities. After hearing everyone's statements, the police concluded that no one had entered or left the house an hour before or after 2:39 a.m. Based on Gudiya's statement, the police assumed that they had lunch around 1:30 p.m. and whatever happened occurred between 1:30 p.m. and 3 p.m. After thoroughly inspecting every room and every detail, the police were convinced that no one had entered or exited the house during that time. The only people present were Laxmi and her daughter. Now the police were contemplating whether the minor girl could have murdered her own mother. Initially, they suspected that the girl might be responsible, as only the two of them were present in the house. However, later they reconsidered, questioning how a minor would possibly kill her mother. The police decided to investigate Gudiya further. They started gathering information about her from relatives and neighbors. They found out that Gudiya was studying, but not very seriously. She was preparing for medical entrance exams, but wasn't putting in enough effort. Her parents had scolded her multiple times, reminding her that medical exams were not easy and required dedicated preparation. They emphasized that very few people managed to clear it, so just studying a little wouldn't be enough to pass. People also told the police that Gudiya was often more engaged in other activities rather than studying. She would spend a lot of time watching videos on her phone, playing games, or watching movies. Many also mentioned that Laxmi in particular used to scold Gudiya a lot and was quite strict with her. She would repeatedly tell her, "If you want to become a doctor, you must study properly." This matter upset Gudiya a lot. However, this happens in every household. Parents scold their children, whether for studying or for other tasks. So what could Gudiya do in such a situation? The police noted that this was normal information, as it happens in every home. Children get scolded for not studying, using mobile phones too much, or watching too much TV. Then the police spoke to Rajesh about Gudiya, but whatever Rajesh shared did not raise any suspicion about Gudiya or indicate that she might be involved in anything. There was no reason to believe that Gudiya had killed her mother. After that, the police spoke to Shayesh and asked him about the relationship between Gudiya and Laxmi, as well as how Gudiya behaved at home with her parents. Shayesh was extremely angry and wanted the person responsible for his sister's murder to be caught and jailed. He was fully cooperating with the police and never hesitated during the investigation. He answered all their questions honestly and hid nothing. When the police asked Shayesh about Gudiya, he revealed that 3 days ago, both his sister and Gudiya had come to his house. While they were there, Laxmi told Shayesh that Gudiya was not studying. She was supposed to prepare for a medical entrance exam, but spent all her time on her mobile phone, playing games or watching TV. Because of this, a major argument broke out between Gudiya and Laxmi. Due to this fight, both Laxmi and Gudiya left Shayesh's house and returned home earlier than planned. Upon hearing this, the police remarked that such disagreements between a mother and daughter were normal. Differences in opinions arise and arguments happen. So there was nothing unusual about this incident that would warrant suspicion. On the other hand, the police also felt that no one had left the house and no one had entered at that time. Only two people were at home, Laxmi and Gudiya. Laxmi had died while Gudiya was alive. However, since Gudiya was a minor, the police couldn't forcefully question her or take her to the police station. The police then devised a strategy. They started playing the emotional card. They spoke to Gudiya in a soft, affectionate manner, calling her very gently. They told her that they had gathered evidence against her, suggesting that she was responsible for her mother's death. They reminded her that she had been angry with her mother when she returned home. As the police continued questioning her in this manner, Gudiya started feeling that the truth was about to come out. Believing that her secret was no longer hidden, she finally confessed. She explained that her mother always scolded her about her studies, just like any other parent. That day they had a big argument over her studies, and Laxmi was extremely angry. While Laxmi was busy with her chores, Gudiya approached her. Laxmi told her that she was not paying attention to her studies. She warned Gudiya that if she failed her exams, she wouldn't get admission anywhere, and becoming a doctor would be impossible. In a fit of rage, Laxmi picked up a knife and showed it to Gudiya, saying that if she failed, she would be killed with the same knife because she had caused too much distress. Gudiya, in response, took her mother's hand, the one holding the knife, and pushed it away. Laxmi fell to the ground, hitting her head and sustaining an injury. Gudiya then grabbed a belt and strangled her mother until she stopped breathing. After Laxmi's death, Gudiya tried to stage the scene. She moved her mother's body into a room and locked the door from outside, leaving the key inside. She then picked up her mother's phone and sent messages to 3 people to mislead them. When the police conducted fingerprint analysis, Gudiya's fingerprints matched. However, since she was only 15 years old and a minor, she was not charged as an adult. Instead, she was taken into custody and sent to a juvenile correction center. Have you ever experienced something unexplainable? Tell us in the comments and let us know which haunted places you want us to explore next. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you dare.